today, and thanks for joining me to do some fun science stuff. I am Jetpack Jason, and I am a wizard. Yes, I am. No, maybe not. I don't know. Do I look like a wizard? How many wizards have you guys seen? Have you guys seen lots of wizards? Okay. Yeah. So I tell you what, I'm more on the wizard thing here in a little bit, but I do want to thank you for joining me. Like I said, my name is Jetpack Jason, and we're going to get started here. But before I get started doing all this fun science stuff, I do have 3 rules for us to follow. They're like really easy here, all right? So my first rule is, guys, so everybody can hear what I'm saying, because there's a lot of you guys and only one of me. I need everybody to please stay on mute. Unless I ask you a question or something like that, and then I can unmute you, and then we can talk and ask your question and all that fun stuff. All right. So that's my first rule. Second rule: there is a chat window, and you can feel free to ask questions and things in the chat. My rule is, though, please make it science related and user friendly as well. All right. So first rule: please stay on mute. Second rule: use the chat for science-related questions. And that brings me now to my third rule, my favorite rule. It's the most important rule also. Does anybody know what my third rule might be? Raise your hand if you think you know what my third rule is. Let's see. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, and by the way, if you have your video on, I can see if you raise your hand or not. There we go. Awesome. Let's see. I'm going to go up here to Mila. Awesome. So what is Mila and Cindy?
Cindy, Mila.
Awesome. Very cool. Thanks, guys. So do you have, Mila, you said you had that third rule. What do you think my third rule is?
Have fun.
Have fun? Have fun? What kind of a third rule is have fun?
I always hear my dance teacher at dance. That's like always her most favorite rules. Have fun.
All right, you have a convincing argument. That's exactly what my third rule is, guys. It really is my third rule: have fun. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna click a button here that says unmute all, and I want now, on the count of 3, everybody to say have fun all together. If you don't want to say it out loud, you can also type it into the chat thing. Use the all caps. This is your one chance to shout in the chat room and not get yelled at for it. All right. So on the count of 3, I need everybody either typing or saying have fun. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Have fun. Awesome, guys. We are going to have some fun here. Now, I am going to have everybody mute themselves here. There we go. Awesome. Now, guys, I tell you what here. I told you a second ago that I am a wizard, right? And it seems like nobody really believed me that I'm a wizard. So I'm going to prove to you now that I really am a wizard. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to do a bit of a magic trick here to prove that I am a wizard. And what I have here is actually a piece of, looks like ribbon, right? Yeah, and let's see, does anybody tell me what color this ribbon is here? Is there anybody? Let's see. I'm gonna go down here to Jenny White. Oops, there we go. Jenny White, what color is this ribbon here?
Red.
Yeah, it is red. Very good. Awesome. So our ribbon here is red, and we're going to take our red ribbon, and we are going to take a pair of scissors, and here we go. On the count of 3, we're going to cut this in half. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. I am a wizard. I just turned 1 piece of ribbon into 2. Thank you very much. Wait. That's a pretty lame magic trick, isn't it? No, that's not really. That's not a very good wizard. No, I tell you what we're going to do here with this. We're going to cut this in half yet again. So we end up with 4 pieces of ribbon. Woo, just like so. And we're going to take these 4 pieces of ribbon. Now, just to prove that there's nothing funky going on here so you guys can see everything that's happening, I am going to switch cameras so that way you guys can see. I'm going to set these 4 pieces of ribbon right here on the table, and they're going to stay right there. Now, I'm going to come around over here with my wizard bag. My bag of wizardry, and I want you guys to take a look inside of my wizard bag here. Is there anything inside of there? Nope, nothing in there. So we're going to take now with our wizard bag and all 4 of these pieces of ribbon, we're going to stick them all 4 right inside of here. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. just to make sure we get them all in there. All right, now I'm gonna keep this right there so you guys can see that nothing crazy is going on here. All right, now, here's what we need though. I need somebody to give me a really good magic word. Does anybody have a good magic word? Let's see. Wow, Mila, your hand was up really, really fast. What's a good magic word?
Alakazam?
Alakazam, I dig it. Yeah, let's do that one. All right, so here's what I need to do. I'm gonna unmute everybody again, and on the count of 3, I want everybody to say the magic word Alakazam. I'm gonna wave my hand over my bag when you say Alakazam, and if we do this right, all 4 pieces of ribbon are going to become tied. Who thinks this is gonna work? Give me a show of hands if you think this is gonna work. All right, give me a show of hands if you don't think this is gonna work. Whatever, guys. And who has no idea what's happening right now? All right. Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. All right, here we go. You guys ready with that Alakazam here? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Alakazam! Reach into our bag and we fight. Wait, what in the world? That's not what I wanted at all. And a box of laundry detergent. Wait. You know what that says? That actually says something on there. I think that says Tide. Well, I guess the magic trick actually worked. We turned our 4 pieces of ribbon into Tide. Told you I'm a wizard. It's not the kind of wizard that I was hoping to be here. All right, so I tell you what, we're gonna put our wizard bag away for a second. Now, of course, guys, that was just a magic trick, but I want to take you guys on a little journey today. This journey is all about a wizard and my friend Frio the dragon here. Now, Frio is a little bit different than our regular dragons. He has a hard time fitting in with the other dragons too. You know why? In fact, somebody tell me, what does a dragon, whenever you think of a dragon, what do you think of? Does anybody have anything that they usually think of with a dragon? Let's see, Rose, I'm gonna go to you here. What do you usually think of with a dragon?
Scary.
Scary, nice. Yeah, is Frio very scary looking? He might be, but I think he's pretty tame looking. Yeah, he's pretty cool looking. All right. Now, is there anything else about dragons that people might know about? Let's see. I'm going to go up here to Desmond. I'm going to unmute you. Uh-oh. It's not unmuting. Can you hit that for me? Thanks, buddy. Awesome. So what do you know about dragons?
They breathe fire.
Whoa. They do what? They breathe fire? Actually, you know what? I know that feeling. Yeah, that's one thing. So they can be scary. And that might make a dragon really scary, right? Is them breathing fire. Now, my friend Frio here, he's not your typical dragon. He actually doesn't breathe fire. I'm going to see if I can wake him up here today. He's had kind of a rough morning. He slept in a little bit too late. He didn't get his breakfast. I had to wake him up to get here today. Let's see. There we go. I think he's gonna wake up. Come on, buddy. Wake up, Mr. Frio. There he goes. All right. Shoo. I was afraid he wasn't gonna wake up. Is he breathing fire? He's actually breathing something else, isn't he? It looks a lot like smoke. Now, I'm gonna feel this here. Are you breathing fire? That's actually not smoke. I'm gonna smell it. You know, it doesn't even smell like smoke. It doesn't have much of a smell at all. You know, so Frio has a really hard time hanging out with the other dragons because all the other dragons are playing all these other like fun games that deal with fire, right? Like fire tag and like Dragon Ball with fire. Now, if he's not breathing fire, he can't play these games, right? So he went on a long journey, a long quest to try to find a wizard to help him to breathe fire. So along his journey, he was journeying. Now, it's a long journey for him because most dragons fly, right? Poor Frio can't fly. There's going to be more on that a little bit later. But he was journeying, and finally, he came across this village. And you know what was going on with that village? The village was on fire. You know why that village was on fire? Some dragons were playing dragon tag in the village, and they accidentally caught it on fire. Now, It was totally an accident, but the villagers were really upset. And so they didn't want another dragon like Frio coming and hanging out there and lighting more fires in their village. So they tried to keep him away the best way that they knew how. And that was with something called a trebuchet. They launched water balloons at Frio with a trebuchet. Now, does anybody ever, show me out your hand if you've ever seen a trebuchet before. A couple of you, okay. Now, a trebuchet is a lot like a catapult. It's very similar to a catapult. We use it to fling things. So it all works. I have to tell you all about this because I love the science behind it. It's so much fun. So we use actually potential and kinetic energy here. So we have, if we pull this all the way back like this, then we're adding energy to this, and we have potential energy stored in our weight. Now, when I look, actually, can you guys say potential energy? You guys say potential energy. I'm going to assume you said it at home. All right, so we have potential energy stored in here. When I let it go, it's going to turn into something called kinetic energy. And all of that energy is going to get launched into my little, it's like a little ball here. But I can't really find a water balloon small enough to launch this. So should we try launching one real fast so we can kind of see how a trebuchet works? Let's try it. All right, here we go. Now, I'm going to take this, and actually, I'm going to aim this right at the camera here. So you guys might cover your eyes. I don't want anybody's eyes to get, no, you should be okay. You're on the other side of a camera, right? All right, here we go. You guys ready? On the count of 3. Count with me. Actually, let's count down from 3. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoop! Uh-oh. Ah! Sorry, guy. You all right? He'll be fine. Put a little ice on it. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. Now, let's try that one more time here. I'm going to see if I can get this camera here. So when we pull this back, we have potential energy. And then we let it go, we have kinetic energy. You guys ready? Let's do this one more time here. Let's see if I can get this. All right, aim it down just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Whoop! Oh, right over the top. Ooh, sorry, kitty. He'll be okay. He's fine. All right, now, you guys, I tell you what, that was kind of fun to see that like that. But I have another video here. We got to launch some water balloons with a big trebuchet. Can I show you guys a video really fast? Would you guys like to see a video of a larger trebuchet? Awesome. And let's see, I've got it ready to go right here. All right, here it is. Well, we launched a lot of water balloons that day, and the last one, we finally hit the target. And you know what? The poor water balloon didn't even break. I think it must have been made out of steel. But oh well, you can't win them all, right? So all of these villagers are launching these water balloons at Frio. And Frio did not like that. So he ran and ran and ran and ran, and finally found this place that he thought the wizard was supposed to hide out. And he walked in, and he saw a table that looked just like mine. I mean, there were like cups sitting around like this. There were like flasks sitting around like this. There's even this bottle, this really kind of decorated bottle, just sitting right in the middle of this table. And Frio looked around, and he couldn't see anybody in the whole place. So he thought, you know, maybe the wizard is hiding in this bottle. So he decided he was going to open it up. Now, I got to ask you guys a question here. Should we open up this bottle and see if there's actually a wizard inside? Yeah, I mean, And some people say yes, some people say, all right, give me a hands up if you think we should, or give me a thumbs up if you think we should open the bottle. Hands up, thumbs up, either way, yeah. Give me a thumbs down if you don't think we should open the bottle. Yeah, ooh, you probably shouldn't do something that you don't know what's inside, right? Who knows what's in there? All right, and, give me 2 hands if you have no idea what's happening still. Okay, fair enough. All right, are you guys ready? Let's try this out here. On the count of 3. Oh, 1, 2. We're gonna open it up. 3. Whoa! Ah! Frio opened it up, and out came all of this fog like this. And he was for sure that there would be a wizard popping out of there, or a genie at least. Boy, that stinks. Now, while this was doing its thing, there was a man, he was dressed just like me. In fact, he's really a scientist. Walked up and he said, "What are you doing in my lab? I've been working forever to try to get this chemical reaction just right, and you open it up and let all of this out." Frio was totally astounded. He's like, I was hoping there would be a wizard in there, but you're not a wizard. And the guy says, "Well, I'm not a wizard, I'm a scientist. But sometimes a lot of the things that I do seem like it's magic, and it is wizardry. It seems like I can do wizard stuff." Now, this right here kind of seems like I just made a cool like genie in a bottle. But you know what really happened? It's something called a chemical reaction. That's when we take 2 or more substances and mix them together and get something new out of the deal. In fact, this bottle has heated up quite a bit. It's pretty warm. So we just made a chemical reaction. And this is the same exact thing that the wizard did, or the scientist did, for Frio. When he opened this up, he saw all this stuff come out, and the scientist explained that it's really a chemical reaction. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys what's actually happening inside of this. You ready? We actually put, before this all started, I put a little bit of something called hydrogen peroxide in there. Now, hydrogen peroxide is that stuff that if you ever get a cut on your hand or a cut somewhere, mom might put a little bit on there and it kind of stings, it bubbles and it kind of stings. This stuff here is exactly the same thing, except it's way more concentrated, which means that it's a lot more powerful inside of there. In fact, this is so strong, it would actually burn my fingers. So we're not gonna mess around with that a whole lot. But then when I mixed it with something else called manganese dioxide, something like this, the 2 mixed together and made a chemical reaction and made a lot of gases escape from this, and it released a lot of heat. I'm gonna move this before it gets too hot there, because that's really stinky. I'm gonna move it away. There we go, awesome. Now, so we just saw a chemical reaction that kind of seems like magic, but really it's a lot of science. So Frio still wasn't buying it. He's like, "Well, you have to be a kind of wizard here, because if you know all this stuff and you can make things happen, you have to be a wizard." And so the scientist said, "No, man, I am going to show you something else here, and I will explain exactly what's happening here with all this." So again, this is going to kind of seem like magic, but we're going to get some science behind this here. So I have to show you guys here. I have a glass of, what does that look like? Anybody tell me what that is? All right, Jenny, I'm going to go to you. What is this here? There we go.
Water.
Water. Now, just because something is clear and a liquid doesn't mean that it's water. It could be something completely different, right? But we can agree that it's a clear liquid, can't we? Yeah, I think so. And it just so happens I have another clear liquid here. Now, in our story, Frio journeyed a long ways, and he was really thirsty. But he loves water, but the scientists thought, maybe we should try to make something completely new for you. So what about maybe, what would a dragon drink? What would Frio drink? Does anybody have anything that like a dragon would normally like to drink? Any guess? Anything? There's no wrong answers. I have no idea what a dragon drinks, honestly. So what about like chili juice? Or like maybe like chili juice, or maybe I don't know, like dragon punch or something like that. Ooh, dragon fire punch. Hey, let's make some dragon fire punch. That sounds like fun. So we're gonna take these, and what I need, you know what I need, is another great magic word from somebody. Does anybody have another great magic word? I'm gonna go back up here. Desmond, what's a great magic word here?
Abracadabra.
Perfect! I love it! abracadabra. Let's do that one here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. On the count of 3, I want everybody to say or type abracadabra. And if we do this right, we're going to end up with some fire dragon punch or dragon fire punch. Dragon fire punch. I think that's what it is. Now, guys, who thinks that this is actually going to work? Raise your hand if you think this is going to work. All right. Raise your hand if you don't think this is going to work. That's fair. All right. Whatever, guys. And who has no idea what's happening right now? Okay, that's totally a fair one there too. If you raise both hands and you don't really know what's happening, that's actually a really good hypothesis because it means we're about ready to find something out. All right, you guys ready for this? On the count of 3, I'm gonna unmute everybody because I want to hear this. I want to hear the abracadabra from everybody. Here we go. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Abracadabra! Wow! Out of nowhere, we got some dragon fire punch. Should we drink this? Give me a thumbs up if you think we should drink this. Yeah, give me a thumbs down if you think we should probably not drink this. Yeah, man, you guys are like the nicest group that I've ever done this before. You guys are really looking out for me today. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea to actually drink it because I know what's inside of this. And those glasses that looked like water, they really weren't water. It was actually something in that first glass called phenolphthalein. I want you guys to try to say that at home. Phenolphthalein. Good luck.
Phenolphthalein.
Hey, I heard you say it. Nicely done. Yes. So phenolphthalein is actually an indicator. It tells us that we have something called a base. So when I mix this with this stuff here, with that second glass, it was actually something called sodium hydroxide, which is a really strong base. When we mix them together, there's a small chemical reaction that turns our water purple like this to tell us that we have a base. This base here, see, I know what's in there. I don't want to drink that because if you read that, it says poison. I definitely don't want any of that. So I don't think that this is going to be good for my good friend Frio to drink here. So what do you say we maybe turn it back to being clear again? Like maybe try to turn it into water. Now, a little bit about acids and bases. An acid and a base are kind of opposite things on something called a pH scale. So if we mix this with an acid or with a base to get it to be purple, what do you think we can mix it with to get it back to being clear? Any guesses? Any ideas? What about, okay, Jenny, what do you think?
Water.
Water, that's a good guess, right? Because it's clear. You know, actually, I have something here that we're gonna mix it with. And I'm gonna smell this for you. You ready? Oof, that does not smell like water. This is actually an acid. And this is an acid you guys have probably all seen at home. It's actually an acid called vinegar. Has anybody ever seen vinegar before? Yeah? Now, vinegar, like I said, it is an acid. And you guys right now are seeing an acid. This acid is actually so tame, like I could stick my finger in there. It doesn't hurt me or anything like that. We probably shouldn't touch science. We don't know what it is. But in this case, I know what this is. It should be pretty safe. But I'm not going to stick my finger in there because it is a science experiment. Now, I use it all the time. Absolutely. I'm sure you do. Yes. So we're going to mix this with this, and we're going to see if we can get it back to being clear like water. Are you guys ready for this? All right. Here we go. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Would you look at that? You can see it trying to stay purple, but as we pour it in there, it goes back to being clear, just like that. So we turned this back to being like water, or clear like water, with another chemical reaction. When it mixed with that base, it turned clear again. Or when we mix it with the acid, rather than the base, it turned back to being clear. Now, this is all pretty cool. And Frio now was starting to understand. He was like, okay, now I can see how somebody could look like a wizard or do things like a wizard, but still be a scientist. Because sometimes some of this stuff, like I said, seems kind of like magic. But Frio was like, well, you know, my whole goal here is I have to be able to breathe fire. And so the scientists thought about it and thought, well, we should be able to get you to breathe fire, Frio. So the scientists asked Frio, what do dragons eat? I'm going to ask you guys, what do dragons eat? I don't know anything about dragons, so like I'm open for ideas. What do you think, Mila?
I've heard sometimes they like to eat meat and humans.
What? Dude! Maybe I should stay back from Frio then, because I don't want to get eaten by this dragon over here. That's okay. You know what? I've heard that too, yeah. That's why they can be scary, right? Do dragons eat anything else? Or do they just eat humans? Oh, okay. Silas, what do you got, buddy?
Dragon food.
Dragon food? Oh, like the maybe like the dragon food that I have right here that I picked up at the local pet store. Yeah, that's exactly. Did you know you can find dragon food at the pet store? Yeah, I don't know. But this dragon food is, I don't think it, I'm going to read what it is made of back here. Well, there's nothing about eating humans in this, so I think we're okay. So this is not, I think we're safe on this case. Now, actually, this is something called cornstarch here. It's labeled as dragon food, but yeah, cornstarch. So let's see, if dragons eat this stuff and they breathe fire, then maybe there's something about our dragon food that can make fire. So let's try a little bit of this. Let's see if we can light it on fire. Now, my question to you guys is, who here should play with fire? No, Silas, put your hands down. There we go. Awesome. Yes, yes. Please, 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 please do not try this at home. I have done this 1,964 times, and I've only burned down about 83 buildings, so I'm doing really good. No, I'm totally kidding, guys. You don't have to worry. I've never done this before. No, I'm still kidding. Like, I have done this many, many times. And besides, I'm on this side of the camera. What could go wrong? Now, we're going to take a little bit of this, and we're going to see if we can catch it on fire. Now, there are 3 things that fire needs in order to work, right? Oh, by the way, okay, I'm reading the chat here. I love, okay, what do dragons eat? I'm just seeing this. Raw fish, tacos. Let's see, was there any other ones that I missed here? People, okay, yep, tacos. You know what? I'd imagine dragons do eat tacos, especially with hot sauce on it, or hot tamales. Woo, yeah, now you guys got me really hungry. Now, raw fish. I like that too. That's pretty good, Miles. Awesome. So now we have, oh my gosh. All right, that's awesome. Human tacos. So anyway, fire needs 3 things in order to work, right? Does anybody tell me, can anybody tell me one thing that fire needs in order to work? Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna go up here. Desmond, what do you got? What's one thing that fire needs?
Gasoline.
Perfect. Yeah, something to burn, right? Like a fuel. So, okay, that's awesome. So in our case here, we have, instead of gasoline for our fuel, we're going to use dragon food, and we're going to see if it's good. Rose says oxygen is something that fire needs in order to work, and that's absolutely right. Just like we do. We need oxygen too. Okay, so we have our fuel, we have our oxygen. And the third thing's a little bit trickier. Does anybody know what that third thing is? I'm going to give you guys a hint here. Something to get our fire started. An ignition source, a heat source, right? So, in this case, we're going to use a lighter as our heat source for this. Now, here we go. Are you guys ready for this? I'm going to move this right up close. A lighter. Yes, absolutely. Here we go. You guys ready? 1. Uh-oh. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Well, that's kind of underwhelming. There is nothing happening. It kind of turned it black there. It kind of scorched it a little bit. It's a little bit smoky, but it did not burn, did it? You know, I want you to think about, I know, that totally surprised me too. I want you to think about, though, when a dragon breathes out, right, that's when they get their fire. So like they're, right, do that with me. You end up like we're blowing air out, right? So I think that's what a dragon's gonna do. And when they blow out, maybe they blow the food into a finer mist. You know what that would do? That would get us more oxygen around. I happen to have a way that we can maybe do that. let's see. I have set up over here a whole different dragon setup. And in fact, all right, so we have our dragon food. Let's load up our dragon here. So we have our dragon food. It's going to be our fuel, right? So we also need to get that into our dragon. We're going to use a dragon feeding device, otherwise known as a funnel. And we're going to stick that right in there. And then we're going to take some of this dragon food. We're going to put that right on inside of there. So we have our fuel in there. That might have been a little bit too much, but that'll be okay. What's the worst that can happen? So we got that in there. There we go. We'll set this aside. So we have our fuel. We need our oxygen, which is actually in this little pump right here. I'm going to squish this down, and that's going to push all of our oxygen and our fuel right on out of there. All right, so that's the two things we need. And then the last thing we need is a way to get it started, right? So we're going to use a torch this time to get our fire started here. All right, are you guys ready for this? Oh, also, should we try this at home? No, please don't try this at home. All right, here we go. On the count of 3. Ooh, let's count down. I'll count down with you guys here. Here we go. Let's go from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. Sorry, guy. He's all right. Woo! 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 Whoa! Man, this dragon is like full of energy today. Oh, and one more. Ah, nice. Oh, I gotta stop, man. That is like starting to stink a lot. You know, actually, I don't know if you guys have ever smelled dragon's breath, but it's bad. Like, dragon's breath stinks. You know what it smells like? It smells like burning cornstarch, which is kind of what it is. So, it's really stinky. Now, you know, should we see that again? Of course we're going to see it again. But I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put a little twist on this, because the other day I got to do this, and I got to film it in slow motion. So I have to show you guys a slow motion video of that. Is that cool? All right, here we go. Let's get our video going. Here's some slow motion of some dragon's breath. I just love the way that flame kind of like slowly comes out of there, and you can see it lighting as it goes through the flame there. This is really so cool. Should we try it one more time in like live setting though? Yeah? All right, why not? One more time. So we need, you know what we need to do? I need to switch cameras so you guys can see this whole thing going on. All right, here we go. Back over here to our dragon cutout. All right, so we need our dragon fueling device, or our dragon feeding device rather. We need a scoop of dragon food, or cornstarch, if you will. And then we have our oxygen. And when that oxygen blows by all of that cornstarch, it spreads it out and increases the surface area. That means the area that's exposed to the oxygen. And then that area that's exposed to the oxygen, well, since it's increased, it can mix with the oxygen so much better. And then that's where we get such a bigger fire than when I just had it in the spoon earlier. All right, here we go. Let's count down. You guys count down for me. I want to see some fingers counting down with me here. You guys ready? Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Woo! Ah! One more. Oh, there we go. Wait, I might be able to get one more. Woo! Maybe one more. Ah, all right, one more. Oh, I think that's about it. All right, better stop that. Whew. Dragon's breath really stinks, you guys. Now, you guys, I tell you what. I have some news, though. Frio does not eat dragon food, and he doesn't eat people either. Thank goodness, because like he seems a little bit too friendly. So it's a good thing he doesn't eat people. So, or people tacos, because I don't want to be a part of a taco today. All right, so now with poor Frio here, he doesn't eat, he eats something a little different. Actually, can I show you guys what Frio eats? It's a little bit like, it's different. Let's see, I have some right down here in Frio's bag. Here it is. Now, this is one giant chunk of it. You know, let's move a little closer so you guys can see this up close here. This is what Frio eats. Now, we people cannot eat this stuff. We can't even touch this stuff. Frio has a very, very special stomach that he can handle this, so don't try eating this at home, please. But anyway, does anybody know what this is? This is like a weird thing here. Ooh, dry ice, says Amelia and Spencer Rockhold. Yes, you're absolutely right. It is dry ice. So I want you guys, imagine you're holding an ice cube in your hand, a regular old ice cube you get out of your freezer, right? What's happening to your ice cube? What's it doing? It's melting, right? And it's turning into water. But is my dry ice a blob? Yes. Is my dry ice turning into water? No, it's turning into like this fog stuff that's coming off of here. In fact, it is so cold that, like I said, I can't touch this with my fingers here, right? It would actually cause burns on my fingers. That's why I'm wearing a glove. And it's actually cold through the glove too. Now, this is not made out of water. It's made out of something else. Liquid nitrogen. That's a good guess. It's not quite liquid nitrogen. It's something else. Good thinking though. So liquid nitrogen, it's actually, let's make some of this all together. Let's see. Everybody breathe in really deep. Now breathe out. What is the stuff you breathe out? Does anybody know? Stop. Thanks, Mila. Oxygen. Ooh, that's a good guess. That's what we breathe in, but our bodies breathe out something called carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is what we breathe out. And if we get that carbon dioxide 109 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, 109 degrees below zero, it would be a solid chunk of carbon dioxide like this. So this is basically your breath frozen. Now, if we take this, I can't touch it with my hand, but my friend Ms. Butterknife here, she can touch this. You guys ready? Let's see what it sounds like if she touches this. She doesn't like this, by the way, but you know, she's gonna do it anyway. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Ah! I did not like that one bit. That sent chills down my spine, man. So right there, yeah, right? What was making that awful sound? Obviously, she wasn't screaming. She is a butter knife after all. Maybe she was, but there's a little bit more going on. You know what's actually happening here? She is warm, actually she's a lot warmer than this dry ice, right? So she's causing it to turn back into a gas very, very quickly, straight from a solid into a gas. That when we have something turn from a solid into a gas, you know what we call that? We call that sublimation. And actually, I'm gonna type that here so you guys can see this. Not in all caps, sublimation. Here we go. So sublimation is when we have something turn straight from a solid into a gas. Now, when that was happening, this gas, as it was expanding, was moving our butter knife really, really quickly, almost like tiny little explosions underneath there. And so it was, that's what was causing our nasty, yeah, it really is a long word. That's what was causing our nasty sound there. But you know, we can do some other fun stuff with this. Rather than Miss Butterknife, I have another friend here. And this guy's name is George Washington. He's, of course, the George Washington that's on a quarter. But we're going to stick this right on here. And now, this dry ice is so cold that it makes George Washington shiver. Now, is he really shivering? Well, of course he is. Look at him. Now, no, he's not really shivering. It's because, again, he's turning this back into a gas really quickly. And as it does, it expands and pushes him back and forth really, really quickly. Now, he is actually really cold. And if I get him close enough, you guys can see, he actually becomes really frosty from being on there and all of the moisture in our air condensing on there and freezing, just like frost on a car in the winter. Now, we're going to set this down to the side here. All right, do it. Nice. There we go. I like that one. Now, if we take our dry ice here, we're going to do some other fun things with it. Like we're going to put it into a flask here of water. So, tell you what, we're going to switch cameras here so you guys can see what's going on. But I need some smaller pieces of it. So, this is actually a little segment of my show that I like to call Hammer Time. Yeah, okay. I thought that was pretty good. Hey, by the way, guys, this dry ice is so cold, you just can't touch it. Okay, that's usually what that joke gets. All right, so crickets. We're gonna take some smaller chunks of this, and I'm gonna like break this up into some smaller bits. Some more here. There we go. You definitely don't want to touch this stuff. All right. Here we go. We're going to throw a couple of pieces right on down inside of here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Oh, I'm making a mess all over my table. All right, here we go. And then we're going to add a little bit of some water here. And throw some of that on in here. And voila! Woo! Would you look at that? Now, I'm going to come over here so we can see this even closer. So we have a lot of gas coming out of here. Now, all of this bubbling, this is the dry ice turning back into a gas really, really, really quickly. Now, you know what we could do with this? We could see, you know, this looks a lot like Frio's breath when he was breathing earlier, right? Remember, we're trying to get him to breathe some fire. You know what we should try with this? We should see, you know, actually, I'm going to tell you, it feels a lot like his breath. It's kind of cool. Ugh, it tastes nasty. You know what that tastes like? Maybe you guys like drink a soda and you get that little burp right afterwards and it stings your nose. That's exactly what that feels like. That's exactly what that tastes like. So, tell you what, we're going to take this. We're going to see if we can light this on fire. You guys ready? Who thinks that we should try this? Who thinks we should try to light this on fire? Give me a show of hands, or a thumbs up if you think we should light it on fire. Yeah? All right. Give me a thumbs down if you think we shouldn't try this. All right, that's fair. All right. And who has no idea what's happening right now? Totally fair. All right, here we go. You guys ready? We're going to try it. We're going to do it. I happen to have an idea of what's going to happen here, so I think we're going to be safe. Let's see. Did you guys see that? That fire, it went out. Wait a second. That's unexpected. All right, let's try this way. What's going on? I can't light it on fire, and the fire won't keep going. Why isn't it going? What is going? Stop. I think I will stop now. What in the world? Does anybody know? It's too cold. It put it out. You're right. You know, actually, remember what this is made out of? That dry ice? It's frozen carbon dioxide. So when we have that turning back into a gas here, it's keeping all of the oxygen away. That's a lot like, you know, think about whenever you have a fire and somebody grabs a fire extinguisher, that's actually what they put in fire extinguishers is carbon dioxide. So that helps to put out fires. So, you know, maybe Frio can't breathe fire, but remember those villagers earlier on in the story that they were, bless you, that they had, their village was on fire? Maybe, just maybe, Frio can help them out by putting out those fires. Let's try it. You think we should try that? See if Frio can put out a fire? All right. So, Frio, I'm going to feed you a little bit of your dry ice here, buddy. Now, I feed Frio. He's sitting on a really cool castle here, and his castle is modified just for Frio. So when I'm going to put some dry ice chunks into his castle, and then those dry ice, all of that dry ice, it ends up going to his stomach, and he can breathe out fire that way. All right, here we go. Now, there we go. We got that going on. All right, so you breathe fire here. We're going to light a village on fire, or you breathe fog, rather. I'm gonna get a village ready to go here, and we're gonna see if we can light the village on fire. So a couple of things we need for fire. We need fuel. Happen to have some fuel here. We're gonna throw some of that on in there. There we go, that's looking pretty good. And then we're gonna add our fire to our little tiny village here. And don't try this at home once again, guys. Our village is on fire. Oh no. All right, here we go. Frio, can you put it out and save the day, buddy? Here we go. Frio, 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 Frio. He did it! He did it! Give him a hand! He put out the fire! Yes, buddy, give me 5. Nicely done, pal. There we go, that was weak, man. Now, of course, that carbon dioxide that he's breathing out from that dry ice was able to put out that fire. So, you know, maybe he can fit in with the other dragons after all. He can play these fun games with the dragon. So, or with the other dragons, because like the other dragons, they can like start fires and he puts them out. He's like a firefighting dragon, really, right? Guys, I want to thank you guys. Did you guys have fun hanging out today? Figuring out how Frio can help us all out? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can help people out too by like, you know, figuring out how we can help people. It's really cool. So guys, I want you guys keep thinking about all of this fun science stuff we did today, right? And keep thinking about how you guys use science. You guys like were giving me a lot of great answers. And you guys like keep reading this summer and everything too. And I want to thank the Lawrence Library for having Mad Science today and supporting all of this. And guys, yeah, I keep thinking about how you guys are using science. And when